Greetings and welcome to what is kind of a garage update video, but obviously I'm not in my garage, I am just sitting at my desk, so it's a bit more of a desk update. But we will be going out to the car very soon because one of the updates that we are doing today is with regards to the Accessport and our map from Motorsport Developments. And also in this video, which is very exciting, I'm going to be doing the draw to find out who wins these goodies, the sequential indicator units from Autobeam, and also, hey, this bad boy right here, the brand new Christmas sample kit from Sam's Detailing. I've been running the two competitions side by side for a couple of weeks now, and today is the day where we are going to find out who wins so that I can get the stuff sent out to the lucky winners before Christmas. So that is of course very exciting. If you have entered one or indeed both of the competitions, make sure that you keep watching the video to find out if you are a winner. But like I say, for now we are going to do some play with our Cobb Accessport. Now, I did talk a while ago about doing some data logging and then getting Stuart over at MSD to do a revised calibration for me, but alas, I've been so busy recently I have not had time to do the data logging. But Stu is a super helpful and nice guy over at MSD, and he actually reached out to me because he had some updates and some suggestions to do in the meantime until such a time as I get around to doing the data logging. So that's what we are going to be doing today. First thing I'll do is I'll go through what Stu has been doing and working on that he has sent me over in a new calibration for my Accessport for my RS. So the first thing that he mentioned was a new valet mode and immobilizer option that can be added into the multi-maps. So the multi-maps, as you may have seen in my previous videos, there are 3 calibration options on there that I can switch between on the fly while driving the car, and those are basically different power levels. And then in normal mode I got Stu to disable pops and bangs because normal mode is the mode that I would typically drive in if I have other people in the car that maybe don't want loads of noise going on, so that's why I got him to disable them in normal mode. So basically that's what I have at the minute, 3 power levels and disable normal mode, pops and bangs. However, what you may not know is that the multi-maps calibration actually has more map slots than just those 3. So what Stu has done is he has added the valet mode and the immobilizer or anti-theft mode as multi-map map slot options, which basically just means that it is super duper quick and easy to switch onto them versus having to use the built-in ones in the Accessport, which is literally a full map to anti-theft, for example, and then whenever you want to go back to your normal calibration you have to map all the way back, which takes a bunch of time to fully rewrite the ECU each time. So having them in multi-maps is just super duper convenient so that you can flick onto them basically in an instant. Into map slot 4 we now have the MSD valet mode, which limits revs to 3000 RPM and 7 PSI of boost maximum, and then map slot 5 is the MSD anti-theft mode. So yeah, that is just a nice little option to have on the Accessport and loaded into the calibration in and of itself. But while Stu was chatting to me about this, we got a chatting about some other potential options, and one of them was the pops and bangs in normal mode. So I asked Stu what he can do with the pops and bangs, and there was loads of stuff that he can potentially do, he was telling me. So what we have done in normal mode now is we've essentially added them back in, but in a limited and modified way. So now what we have is we have standard Ford style pops and bangs in normal mode, but only above 4000 RPM. So basically whenever I'm driving people who aren't necessarily into super loud stuff, I wouldn't really be going over 4000 RPM anyway, so that's perfect, it keeps that feature in there. But if I happen to be in normal mode and I want to go for it to some degree, they'll still be there, so there's still some fun to be had. So that's a nice little tweak that we've done. Beyond that, in the other drive modes where I would normally drive, in track mode most of the time, maybe drift mode here and there, I'll just read out to you some of the stuff that Stu said he can do. We can adjust the RPM it activates at when you lift and how severe it is per RPM. So you'll know that the enhanced pops and bangs that I have already loaded in here and on the car in my multi-maps calibration is the MSD enhanced pops and bangs, which is really cool, more randomized, sort of more natural sounding, and there is indeed appropriate gradation of aggression of the pops and bangs depending on how aggressive I am on the pedal, and that I really love, and I've been enjoying it ever since I loaded this onto the RS. So what he says, for example, I could make yours pop more initially when you lift, but then feed back into what I have now. So that's pretty cool. And then another thing that he mentioned which really piqued my interest was the potential to disable something called shift assist, which I didn't even know existed on the car. So of course I asked Stu, what is the shift assist and what benefit would we get from removing it? So this is what he said. He said disabling shift assist tends to make the pops a bit nicer on some cars. Shift assist is the rev hang that you get when you shift gears. It holds the revs for a second. Some people hate shift assist, some never even notice it is there. So I would fall into the category of not even noticing it was there. I thought the revs being high before they fell was just the weight of the flywheel. I didn't realize that it was like an electronically controlled thing in the ECU. So I asked Stu to disable it, and we're gonna give that a go. So essentially what we have then is we still obviously have our 420 calibration doing the same power as we were doing before, but we have enhanced the MSD, enhanced pops and bangs to make them even more groovy, and I just left it to Stu to do all the wizardry and the magic, working out what to do specifically with the pops and bangs, and of course disabling the shift assist. So that is what Stu was doing, and then same day he sent a brand new calibration over to me via email, so we are going to load it into the Cobb Accessport right now. Of course, first thing we have to do is plug the Accessport into our computer. Just grab the camera here. As you can see, it's firing up. So as you can see, Accessport is connected to computer. So then we can go ahead and load up the, over here. Hopefully you can see that okay. The Accessport Manager 3.1.5. These are the Cobb standard maps that you get from Cobb, as well as valet mode. You see there's two different versions because I did an update and it just left the old version and the new version and the anti-theft mode. So that's the Cobb anti-theft mode and the Cobb valet mode, which, like I was saying, if you want to activate those, you have to do a full-on remap. And then this MSD 420-MM Enhanced Pops Rainy, that's obviously my map from MSD. So the first thing I'm going to do is check for firmware updates, and as we can see, the Accessport is using the latest firmware, so there's nothing to update on there, which is nice. So now I just need to go and download the new map from Stu that he sent over in my emails. Alright, so here we have the email, and this is the new calibration file, so we just smash that. So I open up in my downloads, you can see we have our new file, which is really, really small, so it doesn't take any time at all to download. And I just pull this out here. So you can see we've got our 3 different calibrations with valet mode, immobilizer, enhanced pops, SM, rainy, obviously that's me. So we need to jump back into the Accessport Manager. I'll just make it a little smaller so it's easier to see. So what we need to do is we need to click this button right here, import files to Accessport, downloads, MSD is where I put it. So literally just select it, hit open. Are you sure you want to copy these 1 files to the Accessport? Yes, I do. And as you can see, it's now listed in our list. We can literally just eject the AP now, and then that will be that. Because the file is so small, it just takes no time at all to copy. So eject AP, and yeah, now we can disconnect and we can jump out to the car. Alright then, here we are in the car. I have the ignition on, of course, which is just pressing the power button but not putting the clutch in because we do not want the engine running. So I plugged the Accessport in, it has fired up. So we just need to go down to tune, change map. Just take it off its wee stand here. Get a better look. Okay, so now we get to see that list of maps that we saw on the computer. So then we just go to this one, which is our brand new one that Stu sent over. Battery charger, blah, blah, blah. So, doopy doopy doo, please wait. Okay. Alright, there we go. It is writing our new calibration. So everything is flashing up on the dashboard up in here. As you can see, we have a percentage. So it's just a waiting game. Wait for it to get to 100%, and then that will be our new calibration loaded. Okay, so got to 100%, everything is just flashing into life again, and change map successful. Please turn the ignition key to the off position for at least 15 seconds before starting the vehicle. Alrighty then, I will do that. So, go over here again and go. So that's the ignition off. If I open the door, then everything should just disappear. Yep. So, just wait for 15 seconds then. Alright then, that has been much longer than 15 seconds now, so let's fire it up. So we get that initial, takes a little bit extra the first time you fire up a new calibration, but everything is firing up nice. Cold start has finished, so I guess we can try out the pops and bangs in normal mode thing. So if I make sure, and of course we are in normal mode, make sure and keep it under 4,000 initially. So we just have our cool burbles, which we got from simply doing the exhaust full system. So now if I go over 4,000, oh yes, nice and poppy in the high rev range. So nice one, Stu. Excellent work as per usual. So yeah, in terms of other stuff, I do need to go out. Stu did say that I should do a bit of driving so that the new calibration can learn like my octane levels and stuff, and then we will visit more stuff. But while I'm in the car, I might as well tell you about a couple of other things that I've had done recently in here with regards to what is happening. So fairly recently I had a good friend of mine, a guy called Nigel, come over, and he brought his RS over and I installed the new Mountune USA polyurethane hangers on his exhaust system for him. And while he was here, he brought his special cable, I think it's called a UCDS cable or something like that, and his laptop with the appropriate software, and plugged into my car and did a couple of bits and bobs. He has prior experience and knowledge of it, and of course the special cable, which I don't have. So what he did, the main thing that I wanted him to do was turning off a thing called PDC, and PDC stands for pool drift compensation. Now, if you have an RS, if you've ever like, you know, done a hardcore launch or just really gunned it in a straight line, you may have noticed that it felt like the car was pulling you side to side, even though you weren't giving it any input. And you may have thought, is this torque steer or what is going on? But what it is pull drift compensation is like this electronic feature that is trying to keep you in a straight line, but ironically enough makes you wobble side to side. And especially as you go up the power stages with upgrades and maps and what have you, gunning it, you can feel it a lot more, and it almost feels like it's trying to like bin you off the road. Disabling PDC means I have full control. Whenever I go for it and gun it in a straight line, it stays in a straight line, and there's no real negatives to it as far as I can tell. Nigel did tell me that some people felt that it made the steering feel a bit more heavy, and maybe it does a little, but really it's not that much. I much prefer the feeling of being in full control and not wobbling side to side that disabling it provides. So that's an awesome one. And while he was there plugged in doing that, he also gave me the option of doing some other things, and one of the main things is that he disabled the fake noise generation. Now, in the American model of the RS, it's really easy to do that. You just unplug a thing in the boot, but in our European models, we do not have that in the boot. It's all done via the software. The fake noise generation thing is where the computers generate some noise that it thinks sounds more sporty or whatever, and pumps it in through the speakers in the doors. Now, you know, that's cool and it works, of course, but whenever you do have upgrades on, especially the exhaust system, you want to hear that. You want to hear all the real sounds. You don't want the fake noise. It's a bit like in the ST, removing the sound composer so that you can hear your exhaust properly. It's basically that, except in the RS it's an electronic control. After doing that, I'm still loving the sounds that I'm hearing. I can hear what's going on out front, I can hear what's going on out the back with the exhaust. And what I would describe it as before, whenever I got the exhaust done and I was like fully mapped up and going for it, the fake noise generation was almost like a bit of a fizz going on. So having it disabled basically just removes that unwanted noise, and it's awesome now. So I highly recommend doing that as well. One other thing actually that I almost forgot about that Nigel also did for me was that he enabled the custom drive mode. So if I hit the drive mode selection button, you can see over on the far right we now have this custom
option, which has the little star logo. What this allows me to do then is to manually set up a drive mode with all the different parameters that I would like. So then if we go back to the left in our menus, then go down to settings and driver assist, what you'll see now is we have this option at the top, drive mode. So if I go in there, then we get all of the different parameters that we can choose an option for. So engine, normal or sport. So I haven't actually played with this yet, so I might as well do it right now for you. So my favorite like drive mode is track mode. That's the one that I drive in most often, but whenever I put it in track mode, I immediately turn on the traction control again and I put it onto the softer suspension settings. With the custom drive mode, what I'm able to do is I should be able to basically create that as a drive mode in and of itself so that I don't have to do the extra button presses. So yes, right, engine in sport, steering, also sport. So suspension, we want to leave that on normal, and all-wheel drive, we want that to be sport. Let's see, ESC, we want that to be on, and exhaust sound, sport of course. And that's it, simple as that. Don't have to press any more buttons now. So I just go back to trip computer 1 because gotta monitor the old speed we're doing. So yes, there is my custom drive mode set up. So now whenever I jump in the car, I just put it onto the little star icon for custom drive mode and off I go. So that's happy days and super duper awesome of Nigel to enable that for me. I mean, it is there in everyone's car, it's just been disabled for some reason in the factory. So yeah, I mean, that's a really sweet option if you do like what I do and put it in a different drive mode but then fiddle with the settings manually each time. It's a really handy thing to enable. So happy days. And of course a big thank you and thumbs up to Nigel for doing that for me. So that's all the software update chat that I have for you today. So now we can go back up to the computer and find out who has won the competitions. Alright, competition time. So I am using this website called pickawinner.co. I have pasted in the URL to the video for the Autobeam sequential indicator unit. So we of course are giving away 2 of these. We are giving away the clear edition and the white edition. So I hit the word fetch, so filter. Now we need to have a keyword on here. So what I'll do is I will do these individually. So I'll do the clear ones first. So I did of course tell you to tell me in the comment which one you would like. So we'll go for the clear one first. So continue, please wait. So there are 33 potential comments. Go. And here we are, the winner is Cut Le Rock. He said, love sequential, clear for me all day long. So big congratulations to Cut Le Rock, that is the username. You have won the clear sequential indicator units from Autobeam. I will be in contact with you very soon to get your details. Alright then, so we can basically do the exact same thing again. I'll just refresh this page. I will paste in the exact same link once again. And this time we will put a keyword filter on there for white. So we want the white ones because that is the ones that we are going to give away next. So hit continue, loading the comments. So there were 23 entries for the white one. Pick a winner. And the winner is Mr. Mark Graves. He said in his comment, they all look great, the black ones look the best, not lit, but the light diffusion the white ones provide is awesome. Hence, I'd choose the white ones. Top stuff as usual. So that's a top stuff comment from Mark Graves. Big congratulations to you, sir. You will be getting the awesome white edition of the LED sequential indicator units from Autobeam. Alright, moving on then to find out who is the winner of the Christmas kit. Brand new from Sam's Detailing, has lots of awesome goodies in here and will really brighten up your Christmas, or if you want to give it to the detailer in your life, it will brighten up their Christmas. So let's do that one. I've already refreshed the page. I'm going to paste in the link to the video, fetch, and this time we'll just do anything goes. continue. So 65 entries for this, pick a winner. And it is Gordon Thomas. He says, all done, would love to enter the comp. And so big thank you to Gordon for entering the competition. A big thank you to everyone for entering all of the competitions that we've been running over the past couple of weeks. I really do appreciate everyone playing along and putting your entries in. And I hope that all of our winners enjoy their awesome prizes. And I hope that they have a great Christmas. I hope you have a great Christmas. And of course, if you want these items yourself now, you can, of course, go and buy them from Autobeam, and you can jump over to Sam's Detailing and get some stuff off his website. And yeah, that is the update for today. That is our winners chosen. I will be in contact with all of the winners very, very soon to get your details and get these items sent out to you immediately. And yes, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hopefully will be able to run more competitions. So if you didn't win today, you will have more chances to win in the future. So yes, I hope you like that. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.